I mean, it's a question that comes up a lot.
Hmm.
Like, do certain hobbies make a guy more attractive? And if so, like, why? So we're going to deep dive into all of this today. We've got articles, surveys, tons of discussions all about this. We're going to pull out the juicy bits, figure out what hobbies really get attention and the psychology behind it all.
Yeah, for sure. It's like you see a guy doing something interesting and you wonder, okay, is that attractive? Is that a turnoff? What's going on there?
Exactly.
And there's a lot of interesting stuff in these sources we've got.
Definitely. So to kick things off, maybe let's start at the basics. Like before we even get into specific hobbies, what are some of those core qualities that women consistently find attractive in men? According to all this, what are we working with here?
Okay, so from what I'm seeing, humor is huge. Like
Yeah.
across the board, women are saying a good sense of humor is super attractive.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah, totally. But it goes deeper than that too. Faithfulness, trustworthiness, like those are non-negotiables for a lot of women.
Yeah, for sure. You want someone you can rely on.
Exactly. Stability.
Right.
And then confidence. It's a big one.
Okay, so someone who's comfortable in their own skin.
Yeah, someone who knows their worth.
Hmm.
And intelligence too, which it's not just like book smarts, but social intelligence too. Being able to read a room, hold a conversation.
Okay. Yeah. Makes you think.
Right. And this kind of goes hand in hand with drive, purpose, ambition, like having goals, knowing where you're going in life.
Oh, so it's not just about what you know, but what you do with it.
Exactly. And independence, being able to handle your own stuff, that's attractive.
So it's about strength, but not just physical strength.
Exactly.
It's about being capable.
Yeah, totally. And then, of course, kindness, generosity. You want a guy who's got a good heart.
That's huge.
It is. And being passionate, enthusiastic, like that energy is contagious.
It's true. Passion is attractive.
Yeah, and there's more. Approachability, someone who's easy to talk to.
Hmm?
Selflessness, emotional expressiveness, modesty, good grooming, all these things contribute.
It sounds like it's a pretty well-rounded picture.
Yeah, definitely not just one thing.
Okay, so we've got this whole spectrum of qualities.
Yeah.
But, like, why? Why are women drawn to these things? Is it all just, like, societal pressure? Or is there something deeper going on?
Well, it's a mix, honestly. The sources talk about evolution and social factors all playing a role. Way back when, a guy who was intelligent and driven, he could provide, he could protect, right? That was attractive for obvious reasons.
Yeah, it makes sense from a survival standpoint.
Totally.
Yeah.
But now, it's not just about survival. We want connection, emotional support.
Right, so things like kindness and communication become really important.
Exactly. And the thing about hobbies is that they don't have these qualities built in, but they can really showcase them. You know what I mean?
Oh, so it's not like if you do this hobby, you're automatically attractive, but more like this hobby might reveal something attractive about you.
Right, exactly. Like
Oh.
if a guy is dedicated to learning guitar, it shows perseverance, passion.
Yeah, and if he's volunteering, that shows he cares about others.
Right. It's the actions, not just the hobby itself.
I like that. So it sounds like modern attraction is all about balance. Like a guy who could be strong and driven, but also kind and emotionally open.
Yeah, totally. The sources suggest that women are looking for a well-rounded individual.
Okay, that makes sense.
And one thing that came up a lot is that personality trumps looks, especially when we're talking about long-term relationships.
Yeah, in the long run, it's who you are that matters most.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've got this solid understanding of the qualities that are generally attractive. Now let's talk specifics. What kind of hobbies really highlight that intelligence and curiosity that we talked about?
Well, first off, learning a new language. That's a big one. It shows curiosity about the world, willingness to step outside your comfort zone.
It's like you're opening yourself up to new experiences, new cultures.
Yeah, exactly. And then playing a musical instrument, that takes discipline, dedication. It's not easy.
It shows you appreciate art and beauty.
Yeah, and reading widely, this one came up a lot in the surveys as being super attractive.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I guess it shows you're a lifelong learner, that you like to expand your horizons, think about different ideas.
Plus, you always have something to talk about.
Right, exactly. And it can even lead to some fun debates, healthy debates about different perspectives.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's stimulating, keeps things interesting.
Okay, so reading, definitely a winner. What about puzzles? Like, does solving a Rubik's Cube make you more attractive?
Well, puzzles in general, whether it's a crossword, Sudoku, or even those escape rooms, they all show you're a problem solver.
Right, like you can think critically, strategically.
Exactly. And strategic games, too, like chess or even those more complex board games, those were surprisingly popular in the surveys.
Interesting. I guess it shows you can think ahead, plan, adapt.
Yeah, and it's kind of like your master strategist, right?
Maybe a little bit nerdy, but in a good way.
Yeah, exactly. And, this kind of ties into hobbies like stargazing. It shows an interest in the universe, big ideas, things beyond just the everyday.
Okay, so a sense of wonder, a thirst for knowledge.
And even things like origami. It might seem simple, but it actually involves spatial reasoning, geometry.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's more complex than it looks. And then there's bird watching. It might not be everyone's cup of tea, but it shows you're observant, detail-oriented.
You notice the little things.
Yeah, and even magic tricks. That takes a lot of analytical skill, logical thinking, figuring out how to deceive the eye.
So it's like you're a puzzle solver, but with a bit of showmanship thrown in.
Exactly. And let's not forget gardening.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
It's not just about getting your hands dirty. There's science involved, understanding soil, plants, even a bit of physics with how things grow.
Right, it's both practical and intellectual.
Yeah, definitely. And, the main thing that connects all these hobbies is that they stimulate the mind. They show that you're actively engaging with the world around you.
That's a good point. It's like you're not just passively consuming information, you're using your brain.
Right. And, at the end of the day, being a lifelong learner, that's attractive no matter what.
Okay, so we've covered the intelligence factor. What about creativity? What kind of hobbies really make a guy stand out in that department?
Oh, there are so many good ones here. So first off, cooking and baking.
Oh, he's a classic.
Yeah, right. And it makes sense. It shows you're nurturing, creative in the kitchen. Plus, you can feed yourself and others, which is a huge plus.
Yeah, who doesn't love a guy who can cook?
Exactly. And then there's writing, whether it's poetry, stories, blogging, even journaling. It shows introspection, imagination, the ability to put your thoughts and feelings into words.
It's like you're in touch with your emotions, which is a good thing.
Yeah, definitely. And painting or drawing, that's a classic creative outlet. It shows you have an eye for aesthetics, you appreciate beauty.
And you can create something beautiful yourself.
Exactly. And of course, we already talked about musical instruments, but that one fits here too. It's both intellectual and creative.
A double whammy.
Yeah. And photography, that's a really interesting one. It's about capturing moments, seeing the world through a different lens.
And paying attention to detail, composition, all that.
Right. And woodworking, that was another one that scored high in the surveys. Creating something tangible with your hands, it's impressive.
It shows skill, patience, dedication.
Yeah. And you end up with something beautiful and useful at the end.
It's like the ultimate expression of creativity.
Yeah, for sure. And gardening, that has a creative element too, right? Cultivating beauty, nurturing life.
Right, and you get to enjoy the fruits or vegetables of your labor.
Exactly. And DIY projects, fixing things around the house, that kind of thing. It shows you're resourceful, you can solve problems.
Like you're not afraid to get your hands dirty.
Yeah, and you're independent. You don't need to call someone every time something breaks.
Okay, I like that. And then there's all the crafting hobbies.
Yeah.
Sewing, knitting, pottery, even jewelry making. It's all about creating something unique and personal.
Absolutely. And what I'm noticing is that it's not just about the hobby itself, but the passion behind it.
Like if you're genuinely excited about something, that's attractive in itself.
Totally. It shows you're engaged with life, you have things that bring you joy.
And that energy is infectious, right?
Definitely. People are drawn to those who are passionate about something, anything really.
Okay, so creativity and passion, check. Now let's talk about physical activity. Are certain sporty hobbies seen as more attractive than others?
Well, fitness in general is definitely a plus. It shows you care about your health, your well-being.
Yeah, and it suggests you have energy, vitality.
Exactly. So things like going to the gym, lifting weights, that shows you're strong, you're disciplined.
You're taking care of yourself.
Yeah. And running, jogging, that shows endurance, stamina.
You're not afraid of a challenge.
Right. And swimming, that was a big one in the surveys. It's a great full body workout, and it seems like a lot of women find it attractive.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then there's team sports, basketball, soccer, volleyball, whatever it is. It shows you can work as part of a team, you're competitive, but also a good sport.
Yeah, you're not just all about yourself.
Right. And then there are all the outdoor sports, hiking, biking, kayaking, rock climbing, surfing, skiing, you name it.
Oh, those are fun.
They are. And it shows you appreciate nature, you're adventurous, you like to push yourself physically.
It's like you're not afraid of a little dirt under your fingernail.
Exactly. And dancing, any kind of dancing, that shows rhythm, coordination, a willingness to express yourself physically.
Yeah, and it can be really fun and playful.
Totally. And even yoga and Pilates, they might not be the most traditionally masculine activities, but they show flexibility, strength, and mindfulness.
So it's not just about being bulky, it's about being in tune with your body.
Yeah, and what's interesting is that the sources mentioned a variety of athletic hobbies being attractive, not just the typical tough guy
I was
ones.
like, what?
Well, like fencing, archery, even horseback riding, those were mentioned as being appealing.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's not just about being big and strong, it's about having a diverse range of physical skills.
So something for everyone.
Exactly. And what's really great is when couples can do these things together.
Oh yeah, like going on hikes together, taking a dance class. It's a great way to bond.
Yeah, and it keeps things fun and interesting in a relationship.
Okay, so we've got physical activity covered. What about hobbies that are more social that show you're good with people?
Yeah, those are important too. So we already talked about team sports, but that's a big one.
Okay, so being a team player.
Exactly. And group fitness classes too. You're working out, but you're also interacting with others, maybe making new friends.
Right, it's a social activity as well.
Yeah. And volunteering, that's a great one. It shows you care about your community, you're willing to give back.
And it puts you in contact with people who share your values.
Exactly. And joining clubs or groups based on your interests, like book clubs, hiking groups, photography clubs, anything really.
Okay, so it's a way to meet like-minded people.
Yeah, and to share your passions with others.
And even learning a new language in a class setting, that's social too.
Right, you're learning, but you're also interacting with other students, maybe even practicing your new language skills with them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
makes the learning process more fun and engaging.
What about cooking classes?
Oh, those are great too. You're learning new skills, trying new recipes, and you're doing it all in a fun social setting.
And you get to eat the results.
Exactly. And board game groups, those are becoming really popular these days. It's a relaxed, fun way to socialize and exercise your brain at the same time.
All right, it's low-pressure socializing.
Yeah, totally. And community theater, joining a band or orchestra, those are great too. You're collaborating with others, working towards a shared goal.
And it's creative and social all at once.
Exactly. Public speaking groups like Toastmasters can be really beneficial. It helps you build confidence, improve your communication skills, and it's a great way to meet new people.
Okay, so it's about pushing yourself outside your comfort zone a little bit.
Yeah, and even simple things like playing cards with friends, that's a social activity.
Right, it's about connections,
Yeah.
spending time with people you enjoy.
Yeah, and what all these hobbies have in common is that they show you're comfortable interacting with others. You're not a lone wolf all the time.
So it's a good sign for a potential partner.
Right.
It shows you could be part of a team, part of a couple.
Exactly. And, even hobbies that seem solitary, like reading, can become social if you join a book club.
That's a good point. So there are ways to make even the most introverted hobbies more social. Okay, now let's talk about hobbies, specifically in the context of relationships. Are there certain hobbies that are especially good for couples to do together?
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, cooking together, that's a big one. It takes the pressure off of just one person doing all the work, and it's a fun way to spend time together, experiment with new recipes.
Right, and you get to eat delicious food together afterwards.
Exactly. And traveling, exploring new places together, that creates memories that last a lifetime.
Yeah, and it forces you to work together, navigate new situations, figure things out as a team.
Yeah, and you learn so much about each other along the way, what each person likes, dislikes, how they handle different situations.
That's a really good point.
And creative pursuits like painting together, writing together, playing music together. It allows you to express yourselves, connect on a deeper level.
Yeah, it's like you're creating something beautiful together,
Yeah,
both literally and figuratively.
exactly. And hiking, going on nature walks, that's a great one. It's good exercise. You're out in nature, you have time to talk, connect.
Yeah, it's relaxing and invigorating at the same time,
Totally. And dancing together, that can be really fun and romantic.
and a little bit sexy.
Yeah, for sure. And learning a new skill together, whether it's a language, a dance style, a sport, whatever, it gives you a shared challenge, something to work towards together.
And it's satisfying when you finally master it together.
Absolutely. And volunteering together, that's a great one. You're giving back to your community, but you're also strengthening your bond as a couple.
And you're making a difference in the world together.
Exactly. Gardening together can be really rewarding too. You're working side by side, nurturing something, watching it grow.
And you get to enjoy the fruits or vegetables of your labor together.
Yeah, and even something as simple as playing board games or working on puzzles together, that's quality time.
It's about those little moments of connection, right?
Yeah, exactly. And attending cultural events together, going to museums, concerts, plays, that gives you shared experiences to talk about, to bond over.
It's like you're expanding your horizons together.
Exactly. And, at the end of the day, having shared interests is so important for a healthy relationship.
It gives you something to talk about, something to do together, something to connect over.
Yeah, and it shows that you're compatible, that you enjoy spending time together.
Okay, so shared hobbies, definitely a good thing. Now, what about those more unique hobbies? The ones that are a little bit off the beaten path? Can those be attractive too?
Oh, absolutely. Hobbies that are unusual or unique, they can really make someone stand out. They show you're not afraid to be different, to pursue your passions.
It's like you have a hidden depth, something that makes you more interesting.
Yeah, and it can spark curiosity, like, wow, what is that all about? I want to learn more.
So, what are some examples of these unique hobbies that can be attractive?
Well, for example, lockpicking.
Really?
Yeah, it might seem a little strange, but it shows you're intelligent, you like problem solving, you're fascinated by how things work.
And it's a bit mysterious, right?
Totally. And ham radio operation, that one's interesting. It shows you're into technology, communication, and there's a whole community aspect to it.
Okay, so it's like a secret society of tech enthusiasts.
Kinda, yeah. And restoring classic cars, that's another one that can be really attractive. It shows you're handy, you appreciate the craftsmanship of older vehicles, and you're willing to put in the time and effort to restore something to its former glory.
It's like you're bringing history back to life.
Yeah, exactly. And homebrewing beer, that's becoming more and more popular these days.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
It shows you're into science, you like experimenting, and you get to create something delicious at the end.
It's like you're a mad scientist, but with beer.
Totally. And metalworking or sculpting, that takes a lot of skill and artistic talent.
It's like you're shaping metal with your bare hands. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and archery, that shows precision, focus,
Yeah,
discipline.
that's a bit badass, right?
Yeah, for sure. And blacksmithing, that's a really traditional craft, and it's physically demanding. It
Yeah.
takes a lot of strength and stamina.
It's like you're a modern-day warrior forging your own weapons.
Right, and model building, that might seem a little nerdy, but it actually takes a lot of patience and attention to detail.
And it shows you can see a project through from start to finish.
Yeah. And hobbies like survival prepping, that can be interesting too. It shows you're resourceful, you're prepared for anything.
It's like you're ready for the zombie apocalypse.
Totally. And beekeeping, that's a unique one. It shows you're in touch with nature, you're not afraid of a little hard work, and you get to harvest delicious honey.
It's like you're a modern-day honey hunter.
Yeah. And for the more adventurous types, flying small aircraft or sailing, those are really exciting hobbies.
It's like you're living life on the edge.
Yeah, and mountaineering, that's another one that shows you're not afraid of a challenge. You like to push your limits.
Okay, so it seems like there's a unique hobby out there for everyone.
Definitely. And the key with all of these is that they should be genuine interests. Don't pick up a hobby just because you think it'll make you look cool.
Right, authenticity is key.
Exactly. It's the passion that really shines through and makes you attractive.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, but before we wrap up, are there any hobbies that are considered turnoffs, like red flags?
Yeah, unfortunately, there are some. So, first off, anything that promotes negativity or harmful views, like those manosphere communities online, that's a huge red flag.
Right, you want someone who's positive and respectful.
Exactly. And constantly engaging in online arguments, that's not a good sign either. It shows you're confrontational, you like drama.
Yeah, and it suggests you might have trouble communicating effectively in real life.
Right. And excessive gambling, that's a big concern. It can lead to financial problems, addiction, all sorts of issues.
It's like you're not responsible, you don't have your priorities straight.
Yeah. And heavy drinking, that's another red flag. It can be a sign of deeper issues, and it can lead to health problems down the road.
And it can make you act in ways you wouldn't otherwise.
Totally. And, some hobbies might be seen as a little childish or lacking depth. Well, like an obsessive collection of toys or comic books, that kind of thing. It's fine to have interests, but if it's all you have going on, it might not be seen as very mature.
Right, it's like you haven't grown up yet.
Yeah. And spending too much time clubbing, partying, chasing fleeting pleasures, that can be a turnoff, too.
It's like you're not looking for anything serious, you're not ready to settle down.
Exactly. And excessive involvement with pornography, that can be problematic, too.
Right, it can create unrealistic expectations and make it difficult to connect with a real person.
Yeah, and it's all about balance. It's fine to have nerdy interests or to enjoy a good party now and then, but if it takes over your life, it can be a problem.
Okay, so moderation is key.
Definitely.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the main takeaway for our listeners? What should they remember about hobbies and attraction?
Well, the most important thing is to be yourself. Pursue hobbies that you're genuinely interested in, not just because you think they'll make you more attractive.
Right, authenticity is always the most attractive quality.
Exactly. And remember, hobbies are a great way to express yourself, to connect with others, to grow as a person.
And they can add so much richness and depth to your life, whether you're single or in a relationship.
Yeah, totally. So find your passions, embrace them, and let them shine through.
That's fantastic advice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing all of these insights with us today. It's been really enlightening.
My pleasure. It's been fun talking about this.
And to our listeners, as you go about your day, maybe take a moment to think about your own hobbies. What do they say about you? How do they connect you with the world? And maybe even consider trying something new, something you've always been curious about.
That's a great idea.
You never know, it might just lead to something amazing. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
See you next time.